Good morning. Good morning. As I'm hitting live in all the places, make sure that you say hello and let me know that you're here. I got one more place. Did it go live? Let's see. I believe it did. All right, and then back over here. Let me make sure I am live. Okay. So give me just a moment while I pull this up on my phone. All right. I think we are, hold on. All right. I think I got everything all set up now. I didn't miss any of them this morning, so I'm feeling really good. Let me have a sip of my coffee. Mm. I don't know about you, but a good cup of coffee just starts my morning perfectly. And it's not like I do it for this jolt of energy or whatever. It's that I like the taste. So I can be quite particular and a bit of a coffee snob sometimes, I will say, but I love a good cup of coffee. And so as you get here, make sure that you say hello and let me know that you're here. And I just realized that one of the things I neglected to do was put my affirmation and journal prompt in my queue here. So let me do that. All right. So, like I said, I'm excited to be here. I'm always excited to get on here with you guys every morning or every day. And it just starts my day off in just the most perfect way because I spend a little bit of time creating the affirmation in the journal prompt, which lifts me up. And then, to be honest with you, I think about you guys all the time because I'm thinking, oh, what can I share of value now? And so it's just an uplifting experience to just be part of your guys' life by having you in this amazing group. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love it more all the time because more people come in, the energy shifts and changes, and I just love it. Now, one of the things that's interesting is right now I have 20 people in the queue for the group wanting to be members that didn't answer the questions, and so I'm going to be sending out messages today or tomorrow, whichever when I have the time or I make the time. That's the thing, to send those messages. And sometimes people come back and they will actually answer the questions and do the whole thing, and then some don't. So those I just end up deleting out because I figure that if they didn't answer the questions, maybe they're not a really good energy fit. And I don't know, sometimes like I have gone and looked at some of the people to see and, checked out their profile and stuff. And sometimes it looks like it might be a bot or it's somebody that created a brand new um, profile to get into some places. And so it's one of the ways that I feel now, whether it's true or not, I feel keeps the group a little bit safer is to make sure that they answer the questions. And it's not to say that there haven't been people that have been able to come in without the answering the questions. Some of them have, and so those are probably people that are not participating. So um, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to have you here. And like I said, as you get here, say hello and let me know that you're here in the comments. And I see I've got some people that are on Instagram. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to go ahead and get to our day's affirmation because to me, it's one of the things that I have a little note on my computer. I have little index cards that I've taped to stuff, right? And one of them is about I'm grateful for every opportunity to serve my clients. And so this morning I was thinking about the fact that I have that there to look at every time I get in front of the computer. And I thought, wait a minute, let's do an affirmation about that. So here we go. So our affirmation for today is I am deeply grateful for every opportunity to share my unique gifts and talents, knowing they make a meaningful difference to those who need them. And I think some people, and I'm not saying you, but some people have these amazing gifts and talents. They have the ability to affect people's lives. And it could be that their gift or talent is that they came through something in their life that now they can help other people to go through this, that have gone through it, to deal or to look at things differently. I mean, I got into this space of coaching because I had struggled with my weight for so long, doing the yo-yo thing up and down, till I finally said, I've either got to make peace with being fat because I was very fat, or I've got to find something that works differently than what I've done in the past. And so I started searching and discovered health coaching, decided to go to health coaching school. Then I had such amazing changes in my life that it was like, okay, now I want to do more. So then I did life coaching, and then I did a master transformational coaching, and I was just really working on me. And I discovered that, if it made that big a difference for me, maybe it's time for me to help others. And then I decided that I needed to add some more to it. So I have 5 different hypnosis certifications because one's not enough. But it's like, I like having all these different modalities that I can pull from to help people, right? That helped me, and now I can help others. So that's what I'm talking about. It may not be that you have this artistic talent. It may not be that you have this big musical talent, or you're an actor, or it may not be what appears in the outer world to be a big deal. But for you, it was. And that's why you've curated these unique gifts and talents. And there's always someone who is looking for what you have. And when you keep them to yourself and not allowing people who need them to utilize what you know, you're just leaving people out there. And when you could be the amazing safe space that they could come to for help. And so I want you to look at this with that idea. I am deeply grateful for every opportunity to share my unique gifts and talents, knowing they make a meaningful difference to those who need them. And that's like, it's a lot different than looking at, I want to get a client so that I can make money. It's shifting all of this away from the monetary gain, away from what it's going to do for you, and to the place of who needs what I have. Because it's powerful, right? And I mean, I have clients that I had one just recently that we were on our second hypnosis session. And we were doing because I do it where I do a coaching session first, and then I use hypnosis to help make it faster and more ingrained, the new thoughts and everything, right? And so we were only in the second session on just the coaching part. We haven't even dipped into the hypnosis yet. And he said, I've gotten more than my money's worth just from what we've done so far. And it made me realize that a lot of times we are so used to what we do. We are so used to our gifts and talents. Hi, Kimmy. Good morning. Good morning. And so we know it's valuable, but sometimes I think we lose sight of how much change we're making for someone else. We may logically know it, but we may not know it in here. And when he made that statement, it was like, wow, I knew I was going to be able to help him over the sessions that he had paid for, right? But to realize that just into the second session, not even into the hypnosis, he was already feeling all these changes and these shifts in him. So if I had not offered my services to him when because he reached out, then he would have still been dealing with all the things that he was dealing with without any help. And so it's our obligation almost, I feel, when you can help someone to let them know, because without letting them know, they're just still wandering around. So I have this little scenario that I'm going to take you through to show you what it is to be able to share your gifts and talents. Let's see, what does this say? That's what I try to do by creating my, hold on, let me get this up here. Creating my children's books and activities. My daughter is ADHD and dyslexic, and I was terrified she would fall through the cracks. I used my expertise and skill as a teacher to share my knowledge. This is what I do on my Facebook page as well, share my knowledge. Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you for being that beacon of light. There's so many people that need it. And so I want you to think, like, you and anybody else that's watching or listening, whether it's live or the replay, I want you to imagine that you're about to go on a trip. And you're one of those people that likes to go, later or early in the morning when it's still nighttime to most of us, right? Those were the trips we always took when I was a kid. I mean, always, right? So you're on this trip and you're on this stretch of the road where it's just bleak. There's nothing. There's always one of those, right? When you take a trip. And so there's no lights anywhere except for a few stars in the sky. You seem to be the only car on the road. So no headlights or anything. And it's all dark. And you're driving and you've got people in the car with you, and suddenly somebody's got to pee and everybody's hungry. And it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know how far we have to go till we hit civilization and so we can go to the bathroom. We can't pull off on the side of the road with it being dark like it is. It just feels a little scary. And then suddenly you see this billboard right up the road, right? And on this billboard, and it's all lit up, and it says, next exit 10 miles out, Bob's Best Barbecue and Clean Restrooms. And you think, hallelujah, I now have a solution. So you take the exit, you go the 10 miles out to Bob's Barbecue, everybody piles out of the car, everybody goes to the bathroom, everybody gets something to eat, and it was the best barbecue you've ever had. Now, it could be that you were just that hungry, but it doesn't really matter, right? But it was the best barbecue and clean restrooms. After everybody finishes, you pile back in the car and you leave Bob's Best Barbecue, and all of your needs are met. Your bladders are empty and your stomachs are full, and now you can just be on your trip and be happy. But now, what if you'd been on that same stretch of road, same scenario where people have got to pee and everybody's hungry, and Bob didn't put his billboard out there? You would not have known that take that exit and 10 miles out, that was the solution to everything that you needed in the moment. And so essentially, if you're not telling people what you do and you're not sharing it as often as possible, you're basically Bob's Best Barbecue without a billboard. Nobody knows you're there, and you have the perfect solution to whatever they need. And so it is your and my duty to share what you do so that people that need you know that you have the solution. It's essentially putting your billboard out. So it's important, because if you are deeply grateful for every opportunity to share your unique gifts and talents, you're going to be saying something. How many times do you watch a movie and it's so good that you don't think a thing about sharing it with someone? I just watched this great movie, or I just went to this amazing restaurant. The food was good. The service was good. How many times have you done that? Do you feel like you're selling something to somebody? No, you're just sharing. They can choose to go or not go. They can choose to watch the movie or not watch the movie. That's all on them, right? So if you're not sharing you and what you do, then you're leaving people without a solution. And I, for one, hope that you're sharing as much as possible so that people can get the solution that you provide. Let's see what's going on over here really quick. I'm deeply grateful for every opportunity to share my unique gifts and talents, knowing they make a meaningful difference to those who need them. Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. So if you want to join the group, is it Lewis? I can't. My glasses have got a smudge. All you have to do is go to vickypoole.com, VICKIEPOOLE.com. And then when you're prompted to answer the questions. And then I will let you in the group. So I look forward to seeing you there. All right. So now let's get to our journal prompt. And I'm going to have to take the word journal prompt off. I think I made it a little bit too long. Let's see. All right. Good. So our journal prompt for today is, what are some new and exciting ways you can share your gifts and talents with the world? So even if you've been sharing, what are some new ways that you can share your gifts and talents with the world? Make a list of ideas, big and small, and choose one to take action today. Because see, it's not good enough to make a list. You got to do something with it, right? And like I say all the time, when you really dive into this and you let your intuition, your subconscious mind feed you some information, you brain dump a bunch of stuff, and don't judge it. Just big or small, ridiculous, seeming too big, seeming too small, doesn't matter. Just write down everything that comes up for you. And then after you've written all that down, because it's just for you, right? Then you look over it and say, oh, of all these things, what is one of these that I can actually do today? Because if you don't take an action, you're the person that doesn't have a billboard out. And how valuable is what you offer? And the thing is, sometimes we don't realize how much somebody shifts with what we share, right? And sometimes it's just a belief that they're not alone, a realization that they're not alone, that other people have dealt with whatever they're dealing with. And sometimes that's enough to change someone's life, right? All right, so I'm going to go back to the affirmation and put this on your index card, your sticky notes, the screensaver on your phone. Put it somewhere that you can see it today and remind yourself that this is you. And remember, anything that comes after the words I am is so powerful. So powerful. So really be careful about what your I am statements are. But this one is a good one. I am deeply grateful. Because what happens when you're grateful for something? You find more things to be grateful for. It's like it just starts magnetically bringing the things to you that you're going to be grateful for. I am deeply grateful for every opportunity to share my unique gifts and talents. So, just by adopting that today, you're going to have more things that will show up to share your your unique gifts and talents to. But you get to choose if you utilize them. It's all a choice. And remember, the one thing in life that is constant is change. We're either changing because we're choosing to grow and become, or we're changing because we're choosing not to, and we're just sliding back because we're always changing. There's no way to stop it. It's a constant thing. So I, for one, want to choose, or I choose to choose how my life is going to go. Now, I'm not perfect by any means. So there are times that it's a little bit of a backslide. But I will say, for me, it used to feel like I would take 2 steps forward and 4 steps back. Now I feel like I take 4 steps forward and 1 step back if I go back. And so it's this ebb and flow in life. I like to say that we live a musical life. So all the bits and pieces of our life are little musical notes. And when you look around, you can almost envision musical notes just everywhere. They're not together. They're just little notes. And you pull the notes out that make a difference for your life and end up making a beautiful symphony of who you are and what you do. But if you don't pull any of the notes that are floating around out there, you can't make that symphony. So like I said, the affirmation for today is I am deeply grateful for every opportunity to share my unique gifts and talents, knowing they make a meaningful difference to those who need them. Delicious, right? And then back to our journal prompt. And what I like to recommend is that you have a notebook or a journal that's specifically for our daily affirmations and journal prompts, because you're going to want to have them later. The thing is that we don't notice a lot of times things we can't measure. And 1% change every day creates exponential growth, right? But 1% is almost imperceptible in the moment. And what we do right here, right now, becomes our new normal. So later on, it's just normal for us to be writing down these affirmations and journal prompts. It's normal for us to take an action, but do we actually see what we've done later? Probably not. And so the beauty of having your notebook or your journal for these daily affirmations and journal prompts, for one thing, it gives you a place to write it down. It gives you a place to come back to write more if you choose. But the thing that is really beautiful is it gives you a measuring stick. So you fill this out today. What are some new and exciting ways you can share your gifts and talents with the world? Make a list of ideas, big or small, and choose one to take action on today. So you take the action on the one, then tomorrow you can look back if you choose and find another one, take another action. But what you're going to find is if you utilize this for what it's for, then in a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, you can come back and look at this actual journal prompt and affirmation, see what you wrote, and then you can see the changes you've made in your life from things you did right here. Without this to come back and look at, it was all a new you every single day, and you don't even remember where you were. It's just like I share all the time. Remember, I said when I started becoming a coach, it was because I was so fat and I was sick and tired of being fat, and I had to make peace with it or change it. So I'm not a perfect weight now, but I'm comfortable. I like who I am. And will I lose or gain weight? Who knows? It doesn't matter anymore to me. The thing is that I can look back now at pictures from when I started my coaching journey, and I don't even recognize that person. And I think, oh my gosh, I forgot how far I've come because I've been kind of right here for a while, right? Which is very different because I would go on a diet, I would lose the weight, I would stop dieting, and I would gain weight and more. Anybody that's had a weight issue, you can definitely understand. But the thing is that I'm at this place where I may fluctuate just a few pounds, but not much. So maybe this is the exact weight that my body wants. I don't know. But the thing is that without having that picture to look back at, I can give myself a hard time for not being where I thought I would be. Does that make sense? I'm looking. So I am grateful to be here and share with you today. And I ask you to utilize this in the best, most powerful way possible. So get your notebook or your journal out, put the date, the affirmation, and the journal prompt. Then spend just a few moments in silence. 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you can. Yes, it does. Thank you, Kimmy. Thank you. And as you come out of that silent space where you've quieted your mind and you've just reflected on you and your gifts and talents and how people need what you have, then when you open your eyes and you start writing, there are going to be so many more ideas that come up because your subconscious is waiting and ready to give you all kinds of information. Your intuition is waiting. Your God voice is waiting to give you information. But most of the time, there's so much noise going on in our minds, so much inner chatter that none of that can get in. And that's what spending some time in silence does for you. It gives you that space of like a open book, a blank slate, a clean sheet of paper where you can just write and write and write. And don't judge if only a few things show up. Because what will happen as you go through your day is there may be another thing that pops in. And so I like to say, if you can't carry your journal with you everywhere you go, have at least a little piece of paper. Or I have one of those little mini notebooks that I stick in my purse. And when something comes up, I can pull that notebook out and I can jot it down, or I use the voice notes on my phone. But make sure that you are utilizing this for the best growth within you as possible so that you in turn can help others grow as well. All right. So it's time for me to move on to the next thing that I have going on this morning. And I am so grateful to be here with you guys and to be part of your world and you being part of mine. And so I would love to know if you are doing this, how it feels or how it even feels just thinking about it, because it can be the most powerful thing when you realize how much others need what you have, even when you may not even realize it. Because think back to when you were going through whatever you went through. What if somebody had come up and had a kind ear, a solution, a calming voice, something that was there for you to help you through it. How valuable would that have been? How much easier would it made you going through it? Be that for someone else. All right. So you have an amazing day filled with opportunities to share your gifts and talents. And while I'm remembering, I was going to invite you Thursday, which is tomorrow, the 21st at 5 p.m. Eastern, is the next Stand Up and Stand Out party. And in there, we talk about some of this. We talk about what you want to say when you introduce yourself to someone, what you, how you can articulate what you do. And some people are there just to be in the room with the energy that all these people have. But if you're interested in coming, make sure you check the events section in the group. And it is there for you, and you can say, yes, you're going. And then that way you will get the alerts and you can be there, and it will be on Zoom. I can give hold on a second. I can give a smile, compliment, and be a listener. Yes, yes. I love it, Kimmy. So if you would like to be there tomorrow, it will be on Zoom. So you will be able to be live on the camera, but some people choose to stay off camera and just listen. Some people don't really want help with anything. They just want to be able to be a voice that gives some advice. So whatever capacity you want to come and be there, because it's going to be so wonderful to be in that space with everyone. So like I said, go into the events section of the group and grab the information, sign up saying you will be there, or even put a maybe if you're not sure. But we don't always record because it's a special space for people to be vulnerable, and they don't always want that going out. So I don't know, every now and then it gets recorded, but sometimes it doesn't. So I can't promise you a recording, but I can promise you to have a seat at the Stand Up and Stand Out party if you want to be there. All right. So have an amazing day. I will see you again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, once again with some type of affirmation and journal prompt to start your day. And thank you for being here. Thank you, those that are on Instagram right now. I really appreciate you as well. And if you want to join the group, like I said, VickyPoole.com, VICKIEPOOLE.com, and make sure you answer the questions if you want to be in the group. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Mwah.